Right. Okay, it's 4:15. Let's get started. I'm glad you joined us for this session about Get More Math's TEKS alignment to help prepare your students for STAR and EOC using Get More Math Spiral Review. I'm Jennifer Axtons, and I'm one of the trainers with Get More Math. I'm also from Texas. John Overbow has joined us. He is going to answer any questions in the chat. So if you have any questions, just throw them in there and he can answer those questions, or we can answer questions at the end too. Now, before I ever even show you the TEKS alignment, I do want to make sure you know, as a teacher or an administrator, everybody can sign up for a 30-day free trial. Anybody can do that. So you just go to the website and you can sign up for a 30-day free trial and check out what Get More Math looks like. But we also offer, for new to Get More Math schools, a campus pilot, free for all of the teachers, all of the students, for the entire school year, good until July 31st, 2026. So that means summer school and all of it. You've got all of that for free. There's no financial commitment involved with it, but it does require an administrator to approve the pilot. And then there are 3 30-minute teacher trainings that can be done either with a recording or with myself, John, one of the other trainers online. And so those trainings are in place so that we make sure you don't miss any features of Get More Math, because I really don't want you to miss that. So what are we going to talk about today? I'm going to show you the Texas collection so that my check mark will actually be valid. We're going to talk about a problem I think all teachers face and why Josh Britton created Get More Math for his own classroom and the solution that he created. So let me jump over right quick to my teacher account. This is a teacher account. An administrator account would look similar, so that you have a blue ribbon across the top. You have 3 tabs. You have classes, work, and reports. Go to the work tab, and that's going to let you see your Texas collection. Make sure you click where it says Texas. I want you to stay there because that's where the TEKS alignment is. Now, Get More Math is TEKS aligned 3rd grade to Algebra 2. So that's the TEKS alignment. There's STAR practice for 3rd grade through 8th grade, and then there's EOC practice for Algebra 1 EOC. So I can be a 7th grade teacher and I can go back and grab 6th grade content. I can jump up and grab 8th grade content. I can grab Algebra 1 content. So I have access to everything that Get More Math has as a teacher. So you have access to all of those things. If I want the TEKS alignment, though, I click where it says standards, and that's got my TEKS alignment. And so I can click and I can see the skills that Get More Math has aligned for any particular TEK. So you have the ability to see all of those things, every one of those. And I said just a minute ago that you could, as a 7th grade teacher, go back and grab 6th grade content, jump up and grab 8th grade content, and I could do that. But let me tell you what, in Texas, we have a great collection, and it's called the Fill the Gaps collection. If you open that collection, it has the TEKS. Let's say I'm teaching 7th grade. My kids are having trouble with 7-4E. Get More Math has already found from the previous grade levels the skills that support that particular TEK, and I don't have to go to search in those other grade levels. Get More Math already has them found for me, and then I can add them to an assignment. So that's a great collection, and it exists just for Texas. So keep that in mind. There's also a STAR practice and a STAR redesign folder. Like I said, Get More Math has STAR practice for 3 through 8, Algebra 1 EOC practice. The difference in these folders is that they're organized by reporting category and then readiness and supporting TEKs within each one of those reporting categories. So that's how STAR practice is aligned. The STAR redesign folder still has the TEKs, but then I can see which skills might have drag and drop or hotspot or graphing or text entry, because not only is Get More Math, does it have spiral review, so my kids are spiraling through all of the content, they're also practicing it in the way that they're going to see it on STAR or EOC. And there are problems that are at the same level or greater as the rigor of STAR. And then there are skills that will help the students build up to that level of rigor as well. So there's kind of what the Texas collection looks like. If you ever have any questions when you're logged in as a teacher, there's a green chat bubble down here that allows you to ask questions. That comes to the training team. So anytime you have questions, ask. Now, that makes my check mark actually work for Texas collection. So let's talk about a problem that I think all teachers experience and the solution that Get More Math has for you. Get More Math was created by a math teacher. Josh Britton created it to use in his own classroom, because the first year that he taught, he did the same thing that I'm going to tell you I did as a teacher all the way through, and I think lots of teachers do, is that we teach our kids, we have them practice over what we've taught that day. Give them some practice activity worksheet, something to demonstrate they understand what we just taught. And then I do the same thing every day, right? I teach and have the kids practice, get to the end of the unit. I give them a test, a review the day before the test. And the kids take that test and they do pretty well on it. So I continue in that same pattern throughout the school year, right? That's what we do. We teach, we have the kids practice and give them a test. And then all of a sudden it's time for STAR EOC and we've taught everything and the kids have taken a test over all of it. So they should all be good to go, right? Your head might be spinning because that's what would happen for me. I would start to name off all the stuff that was going to be on EOC or STAR, and I would start to name it all off. And somebody in the room would go, "Did you ever even teach us that?" My head would spin around a little bit, and I would say, "Absolutely, I did." And they would go, "Oh, well, we forgot." Because what I found, what Josh Britton found in his own classroom, is that the further removed we are from the instruction, more students have forgotten it. They can remember that stuff that we covered just recently. It's that stuff from in August and September and October that they have a hard time remembering in April, right? So the students become frustrated because they don't remember all those things. We're a little anxious ourselves because we have STAR EOC, and our kids don't seem to remember any of the stuff we've covered. That, I think, is the problem that we all face because what works for us in the short term, just having the kids practice over what we taught today, doesn't work in the long term. The students forget that content if they don't continue to practice it. That's what Josh experienced in his classroom. And so he created Get More Math and changed the way that his students practiced and had such great success with it. Now here we are with Get More Math. So I said it changed the way, Josh changed the way that kids practice. So Get More Math does this. Instead of just having the students practice over the brand new material, Get More Math has practice over the brand new material, but also has the spiral review piece. So kids are practicing the new stuff and the stuff you've already covered. Get More Math spiral review is over the content the teacher has covered. And when your students are working in spiral review, that practice is individualized for each of your students. Everybody is practicing exactly what they need to practice of the content the teacher has covered. Now, if you notice on my slide here, Get More Math's logo is by the targeted practice and by spiral review. It's not over here by the lesson because Get More Math does not provide instruction intentionally. Get More Math is the practice that supports your instruction. Okay, so we don't teach the kids and things like that. We provide the practice for your students on the material that you have covered. So in a Get More Math unit, you're teaching your kids, they're practicing over the new material you've just covered, and they're spiraling through all of the material you've covered throughout the school year. I'm going to tell you what that allows you to do for that. Not only do you not have to have a review day the day before an exam, you can actually give cumulative test. And don't trust me, cumulative test and Get More Math are easy to make. I'm going to show you how it works because I dreaded making cumulative test before I knew about Get More Math. So I can give cumulative tests. So let's think about what spiral review throughout the entire school year and cumulative tests that might be. Now, first unit, it's going to look like it is. And even probably the second unit, I can include all unit 1 and unit 2. But let's think about when we get to unit 4 and we're getting ready to make a unit 4 test. What if I can include all of the unit 4 material, but content, a little bit of content from unit 1, unit 2, unit 3 on that unit 4 test? And I did that all throughout the year so that by the time we get to the end of the year, and we're going to get ready for STAR, EOC, the big test, maybe it's semester exams even, my students have been practicing in spiral review all year, and I've used those cumulative tests. So that big test is just the last test they take. There's no anxiousness. The students are more confident in all their abilities and all of those things because of the fact that Get More Math has provided that spiral review all throughout the school year, and I can use cumulative testing. So it's not a big test. It's not the dreaded STAR EOC. It's just the last test they take. Now, here's another screenshot of what the teacher's screen looks like. I know some people have joined since I shared the Texas collections at the beginning, so I do want to make sure you know. Get More Math's TEKS-Alignment. So when you're logged in as a teacher and you're looking, make sure you're clicked on the Texas folder. you have access to everything Get More Math has. So that's here in this middle column. TEKS Alignment, 3rd grade through Algebra 2. You have STAR practice for 3rd grade through 8th grade, and then you have Algebra 1 EOC practice. So all of that's available to you. So as a teacher, you create assignments, and these assignments become a part of spiral review. How does that work? How are these assignments going to work? In your assignment, kids are going to practice the new material that you just taught, and they're going to spiral through the previous content. But you're not going to have to go find it all over again. You're just going to find the one new thing you're teaching, and you're going to add that. And when your kids are working in spiral review, like I said, it's customized, it's individualized so that every student is practicing exactly what they need to of the content you have covered. In Get More Math, the teacher is in charge. The teacher provides the instruction, and the students are never going to practice something that the teacher hasn't covered. Okay? You're creating that as the teacher. So if I'm getting ready to create my assignment for lesson 5 in my first unit, I've already made my assignments for lessons 1 through 4. All I have to do as the teacher is add the skill. Let's say I'm talking about least common multiple. I'm going to add the skill, it's TEKS-Aligned, for my students to practice least common multiple. And that's all I have to do, because Get More Math is going to include the spiral review, those problems for each student from lessons 1 through 4. And they could be different for every student because Get More Math knows what each one of those students needs to practice. So what does this assignment look like for the students? This student's got this problem over here on the right. And if you take a look over here on the left, I named it lesson 5. So it shows up here, 0 of 11. So they know they're going to earn 11 points. Here at the top, they're going to earn 3 points on that brand new content. And then down here in this spiral review section, it's going to include not only the targeted skill from this brand new assignment I've just made, but some skills they're going to practice from lesson 1, from lesson 2, from lesson 3, from lesson 4. All of those are included in this assignment for lesson 5. I also want you to notice, see that little white square up here at the top? We'll talk about the colors of those squares in a moment. But this little white square up here at the top, the one that I'm targeting today, it's becoming a part of spiral review. It's right down here in their spiral review. So as you add assignments, the skills from those assignments become a part of the student's spiral review. It's amazing. Now, let's fast forward. Let's jump forward to March. Okay, now over here on the side, see how there's a lot more squares? I've covered a lot of material, gotten to March. So all of these squares are representing the content throughout the school year. The color of the square is important. The fact that there's dollar signs on some of it and not on the other, that's also important. That's Get More Math at work for you. Now, you saw when I created that assignment and I had that targeted skill at the top, just like this one here, that brand new skill is white because the students haven't answered enough problems yet. After they've answered a few problems, correctly or incorrectly, Get More Math will change the color of that square to either red or yellow. We really want them to get to yellow. Red means they're struggling with that content. Yellow is the color of initial understanding. Y'all, it is a built-in exit ticket. Now, the students know they got my exit ticket because their square turns yellow. But I'm going to tell you, as a teacher, this is day 1, me teaching that least common multiple skill. I can look at this one screen. I don't have to grade index cards, sticky notes, make sure I mark down who answered the question correctly going out the door. I can see which students leveled up to yellow. This student's red, so I know this student's struggling, and these 2 haven't even tried it. Maybe they were absent. I will also tell you that from this one screen right here, I can go and do some remediation with these 3 kids right here on the next day because I know this one didn't get the exit ticket and these missed the instruction. So I can do that from right here on this one screen. So we want students to level up to yellow at first, but then over time, see this green? That's where I want my students to get, to green. I want them to level up the colors of their squares to green, to silver star, to gold star. Those are the colors of proficiency in Get More Math. Proficiency in Get More Math is accuracy over time. It's not about me giving you a worksheet today with 50 problems on it and you answer all of them correctly. So check mark, you got it done. That's not how Get More Math works. You do a few problems today, you're going to do some tomorrow, you're going to do some next week, you're going to still continue to practice it next month and the month after that, and you're still going to practice it in April. if I decide as the teacher you're going to, right? And so students, the colors of their squares show their level of understanding. They level up those squares over time. Now, let's say I'm on day 45 since I taught that least common multiple skill that was in that lesson 5. These students have done what I asked them to do. They've leveled up to green or better. They've shown that accuracy over time. These two have not. And I can look at this one screen and see that. And again, pull those two students into a small group and do my remediation from this one screen with unlimited examples to do that guided practice. All right. I also said the dollar sign was important, that not just the colors were important, but that the dollar sign was important. Listen, this dollar sign that Get More Math has, the way Josh designed it is amazing because it is individualizing students' practice. This student has dollar signs where this student needs to practice. The child sitting next to this one has dollar signs in different places based on what that student needs to practice. The way it works is like this. If a student has white, red, yellow squares, they need to build up their proficiency there. So Get More Math frequently throws a dollar sign on those squares. Once they level up to green, to silver, to gold, we don't want them to forget it. You don't want them pulling their hair out. You don't want to pull your hair out as we get ready for STAR or EOC. So Get More Math is occasionally going to have your students practice that content. So that dollar signs making sure everybody does what they need to and practice of the content that you have covered. And I think that's amazing because I used to group my kids and that was a lot of work for me. This is not. This is the kids are practicing. Also, the kids can't work on anything that's not work that doesn't have a dollar sign on it. So because kids would choose the easy stuff or the stuff they like the best if we just let them do that, right? Get More Math is going to force them to practice each thing that they need to practice. All right. So spiral review, check mark, right? Get More Math covers that because of the way that Josh made it. But I also threw in that cumulative testing and how easy it was. And you were probably going, are you kidding me? Cumulative tests are hard to make. Not in Get More Math. You can make cumulative assessments. Let's say I'm at Unit 5. I've already covered Unit 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm getting ready to make my Unit 5 test. So here's my assignments I've made for Unit 5. And here's all my stuff for Units 1 through 4. I'm going to click right here where it says create an exam instead of an assignment. And then I'm going to, with a few clicks, I can add the skills, all the skills from Unit 5 and some of the skills from Units 1 through 4 so that this is a cumulative test. It's just a few clicks, and that's all I have to do to make a cumulative exam. Then, as I give that exam to the students, look at this. Get More Math grades it for me. The time saver there, right? Get More Math grades it for me. This child's actually made a 15 out of 20. Answered 15 of those problems correctly on the first try. As a teacher, you can see the exact answers that they input, things like that. You can see all of that information. I can even override. I can say, I had them show their work and I collected that. And she had the right answer here on her paper, but she just failed to enter it correctly. I can give her full or partial credit. And I have the ability to do that. Then I just save their grade. And let me tell you what happens when I save their grade. Automatically created for the students. It's a corrections assignment. This is a student screen. This corrections assignment is individualized for each child. She missed 5 problems on the exam. Check out what's up here. The 5 exact problems that she missed. I don't have to hand her test back to her. I don't have to do anything like that. This Get More Math's giving that student those problems back, and that student's fixing every mistake they made on the exam. But look what else Get More Math is doing. Get More Math is providing additional practice on every skill that the student missed on the exam. So the student's answering 5 additional problems similar to the ones that they missed on the original exam. And that's just automatically created. The teacher didn't have to do anything but click Save Grade. Also generated when the teacher clicks Save Grade is this, a follow-up test. It's a retest. She missed 5 problems on the original exam. Look at her follow-up test. She's got 5 problems, similar to the ones that she missed on the original exam. Not the exact problems, but similar to the ones that she missed. So it's only going to include those missed problems, but it's a quick way for me to show growth. Because here's this student's original exam score. She made a 15 out of 20. But look at her follow-up score. She answered 4 of the 5 skills correctly on the follow-up, on the retest a few days later. That is growth. And it's all right here for me. And Get More Math graded it for me. And I had a few clicks and I made that cumulative exam. So I love the way the exam features work. I used to chase kids down. You need to get your corrections done. You need to get your corrections done. Oh, you need to take your retest. Listen, it's all right here. It's made for you. It's ready to go. Get More Math was, like I said, designed by Josh Britton while he was in his own classroom to make sure that students didn't forget, that that stuff didn't wasn't hazy anymore, that you're not pulling your hair out and they're not anxious about STAR because they're working in spiral review, individualized for each of them. So they're practicing the content that you have covered. That targeted practice over the brand new stuff, but then spiraling back through in every assignment. And all you had to do was pick that new skill. You have the assessment feature too, that you can quickly make those cumulative exams that involve corrections and that you can remediate. There's a screen you can do that. And then that immediate, that retest that's made for you. So Get More Math's creating all of that for you. I didn't say this while I was talking about it, but you can print worksheets and Get More Math. Maybe you have a student who didn't bring their device, they didn't charge their device, all of those things. Maybe you want to print out a worksheet so that the students could do a little, you could do some modeling, some guided practice, and they would have those notes to go with their practice. You have the ability to do that and Get More Math as well. I also didn't show you a button when I was on that one screen and I was showing you the Texas collections and all of that, but you can collaborate with other teachers on your campus and in your district. So maybe I'm that seventh grade teacher, but there's two other seventh grade teachers. I could make the assignments for this week. One of the other teachers could do the lesson plans, and the other one could have maybe that printable ready or something like that. And we could share that workload because we can collaborate. We can copy assignments from one another. There's another type of collaboration in Get More Math as well, in the fact that I can add a co-teacher to any class. It could be a para that's in the class so that they could see how the kids are doing and maybe help with any questions that they might have. I can add a special education teacher, or somebody that's monitoring for RTI or 504 so that they have the information they need for those progress reports. That's all available within Get More Math. Teachers are in charge in Get More Math. It was created by a math teacher, and as you use it, you will see that. You will say, that's what it's about. Every time I've talked to so many teachers who go, oh, you can tell a math teacher made this. Listen, he would encounter some problem in his class and he would go, oh, let me make a feature for that. Ooh, let me make a feature for that. And that's how it worked. I will tell you the best thing that I like is our Texas collection. I may be biased in the fact that that is also where I'm from. But the TEKS alignment is great. And you have the STAR practice, you have the EOC practice so that your students are prepared. And it's also the level of rigor are greater for part of those skills. And then the ones that can help build up to that level. But there's also the way they look. There's drag and drop, match table grid, multi-select graphing. They're practicing all of that all year long. So there's the solution. I told you what the problem was. There's the solution is Get More Math. The pilot offer. How do you go from here? How do you get that pilot? Well, an administrator approves the pilot. It can be a principal, instructional coach, the team lead, someone that makes those type of decisions. They just send us the teachers that need access, decide if the trainings that I was talking about are going to be the live ones or recorded versions of them. And then we ask that they check in with the account manager couple of times just to look at the data so that they can see that. Now, for teachers, for continued access, there are the 3 30-minute trainings. The first one's kind of about getting started. The next one you do about 4 or 5 weeks later after that, after you get started. So you have some data, you've kind of gotten some practice, you have some better questions about what you want, how it works, things like that. And then the other training can be done at any point in time with that pilot. So you make sure you don't miss any of those features. So those are kind of the requirements for that pilot. In a couple of hours, I say that, it may be in the morning, but shortly after this webinar ends, this evening or in the morning, you're going to get an email. It's going to be from Erica Martin, the same ones that you got for the reminders to start this webinar. And there's going to be a demo recording in there. That's the recording that you can share with your administrator. And listen, it's like 7 or 8 minutes long. They can watch it and they'll have her email and there's the info email there as well. And all they have to do is say, oh, will you approve this pilot? And you can get started with it. That's all it takes. You can also email emartin@getmoremath.com. You can email info@getmoremath.com. Either way, we'll get that and can help you get started. We do ask that you can reply to that email. You can let us know, "Oh, you'd like to see more," or, "You have some questions about this. How does that pilot work? Do we really have access all year?" All of those questions can be answered. All right. I don't see that any questions were asked in the chat, but I may not see them all because I let John take over and answer any questions. Does anybody have any questions? All right. If not, listen, you're going to get 5 minutes back of your time. Thank you for joining us today. We appreciate it.